Hey guys, how are you? So this is our last week of our fall session, and with Halloween coming up this week, I thought we would do one last Halloween project to finish out our time here. And I hope you guys like this one. We're gonna do a small little ghost and some spider webs and a couple spiders hanging down. And I think it's really fun. We are going to use pencil, eraser, Sharpie, and your markers. Okay, so get those supplies and then we'll get started, okay? Thanks. Okay guys, so here is our sample that we're gonna be drawing from. So like I said, we've got the ghost. He's holding a little pumpkin, zoom in a little bit here. He's holding a little, like a pumpkin trick-or-treat basket. We've got a candelabra with a candle, little hat, some spider webs, a couple spiders. I wanted to leave this a little bit open-ended, so you can either do it exactly like mine, or if you want to make some adjustments, go ahead and make it your personal project, okay? I'm gonna let you see my sneak preview of my kitten. Hey, Mr. Ron. Hi, Mr. Ron. Okay, guys, so the first thing we're gonna do is our little ghost. You know what? I usually like to draw a little bit softer when I first draw an image, but just so that you guys can see it a little bit better, I'm going to draw a little bit darker. But you guys can draw light if you want until you get the right shape. I'm starting out with basically just like a small rainbow shape up here. Then I'm going to come down and curve to the left a little bit, curve back to the right a little bit. It actually almost looks like a bowling ball pin. Then on this side, I'm just going to kind of swoop out like that. Okay. And now notice that my lines are not straight. You know, they're kind of at an angle like that. Okay. And then I'm going to do just a couple little waves at the bottom there like that. Now for the eyes, I'm going to do oval eyes. A small little mouth. Down here, let's see, this is about halfway from top to bottom of our ghost. Just a little bit beyond that line, a little bit down from there. I'm going to make two little, almost like mittens. One little mitten, two little mittens. Looks like little U's. Those are going to be his hands. And I'm going to put a couple lines like that, just to kind of give an indication of an arm or a sleeve or something. Now I'm going to draw my pumpkin basket. So right there's the handle, and the handle is going to go down here a little bit further through his hands. And then for the top, we're going to draw a small oval. And then just kind of a big pumpkin shape. Like that. Okay. Now you can put whatever face you want on your pumpkin basket. I'm going to do the traditional 2 triangle eyes, upside down triangle nose, and then smile, tooth, smile, tooth. Finish my smile. And then the bottom, I'm going to start over here on the left. I'm going to go down and then have a tooth that goes up and come back over there like that. Okay, so there's my little ghost. I don't know if this is a real ghost or a kid dressed up in a Halloween costume. I haven't quite decided yet. But anyway, we'll just give it a little bit of flow. Okay, so now let's do his hat. We're going to start by making the rim. So I'm going to start over here to the right of his head and just kind of go down like that. Okay. Now from there, I'm going to go up, draw this lightly, guys, okay? We're going to draw a light triangle just to kind of show us where the point or the top of it would be. So now we can kind of go like that and know that that's going to be the top of our hat, or the highest point, I should say, of our hat. And then we can bring it over like this. And same with this. With this, we'll bring it up next to our triangle, and then down like that. Okay. And then once we have that, we can go ahead and erase all of this here inside of that hat. We can erase his head, at the very top of his head, and that little triangle that we used as a guide. Okay, and if you guys want to do a different style hat, that's fine as well. I just thought this one was kind of fun. So I'm going to do that. And then let me show you the example again. Here's our example. So what we just drew was this kind of line here. And now I want to do this back part here where it goes behind his head. So I'm going to come back down to my drawing and just draw those two little lines there to kind of show the back of the hat. Okay, now right here is where his head was, and I'm going to put a little band right above that. There's 1, 2 little lines, and I put a star at the end of his hat. You can put a star, you could put a spider, you could just put a little ball there, or you don't really have to have anything. I just wanted to give it a little bit of decoration. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do are our spider webs. Now I want to show you our sample again. I'm pretending that this is like an old house that we're in. And so our spider webs are kind of falling apart here. They're not full circles. They've got little strings dangling down from them. Okay, so what I want you to do is look at your paper here. And I want you to pick a point about right there. And that's going to be the center of your spider web. So from there, I want you to make about 5 curved lines. And then I'm going to go and do these, we're going to go and do these little curved lines that go in between. And then I'm going to start at the same point right here and go around to the next one. Right here, I'm going to just pretend and add another one in. Okay, then we do the same thing over here. And then down here with our last one. And all of our little curves that we make are going to sort of point in towards the center. So each little section that we do, our curves will point in towards this point right here. Okay, so there's my basic web. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do those little dangly things. So I'm going to pretend like this, you know, maybe it used to go around like this. Most likely it used to go around. So I'm going to take these and just bring them down, because that's what used to go around like that. So I'm going to bring one down, maybe another long one. And then we can do a couple shorter ones. Maybe one right there. We don't have to do the whole thing, but just a couple of them like that. Now I'm going to do a second web up here in this corner. So again, I'm going to pick a spot like right here. This one's going to be a little bit smaller than the other one. I'm going to pick a spot about right there and just make my curved lines. Now that one actually did have 5. And again, my curve is going to go towards the point, the top of my curve, towards the point. Okay, so that's what's left of our spider web. And then we're going to go back to where these curve lines stop and get some little dangly things. Something like that. So now that we've got our ghost or spider webs, we're going to throw in our spiders. And our spiders are basically like an oval and then a circle, 2 little ovals down here on the head, and then we have 8 legs. So there's 4 pairs of legs, and they all come from this section here that looks like it would be the head, which I don't think it really is, but either way, they come from this middle section, not the back section. Okay, so let's come down here, find a good spot for your spider. I'm going to put mine about right here. So I'm going to draw my oval first, then my circle. I'm going to do a little bump there and a little bump there. I don't know spider anatomy, so I'm sorry, I have no idea what those things are called. And I'm going to do 4 legs. They're kind of like upside down V's. And we just kind of keep going further and further back. Okay, and now he's dropping down from a nice big string here. Go all the way up. And now I'm going to give him a little friend over here. This one's going to be smaller. It's going to be maybe a little bit behind this other one. A little bit further back maybe. So we've got our oval, our circle, our 2 little things. There. And then we'll get his little spider web up here. Okay. Now, I didn't leave a whole lot of space for my candle. In this image, I have a candle right in the middle. I'm still going to put it in, but I need to move it over just a little tiny bit because I made my spider bigger than I had planned. So I'm going to start with my candle itself, and I'm going to put it about right here. It can be whatever size you want. Mine is probably, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to do a little bit of a curved line at the bottom. And now lightly, I'm going to do a curved line and then kind of like an oval for the top. Okay. And I'm going to make my flame, so a straight line, then sort of start here, go down and around like that, and then down and around again for our flame. And now I'm going to have a little bit of wax dripping down on mine. So that's why I said to draw this lightly, because I'm going to come down like this and have some wax dripping. We can erase that little line. Maybe I have a couple little drops coming down the side. Okay, now the holder that it's standing on is going to be an oval, like an oval base that it's sitting on, and then 2 straight lines, one on the left and one on the right, and another little oval on the front here that just matches that exact same shape, like that. Okay. Then we're going to come over here and make 2 curved lines like that. Then we're going to make a little bump. Okay, then we're going to come down, we're going to make another bump. We're going to try to make it symmetrical, but that is a little bit hard sometimes, but do your best to try to make it symmetrical. Okay, and now from there, we're going to do kind of a sideways curved line. Another one there. And then a curved line for our base. We're going to do a straight line right there. Another straight line right there. And then follow that exact same shape that's right above it. And there's our little candle with its stand. So now the only thing that we really have left to draw is a line designating where the back floor meets the wall. You can make yours straight or horizontal, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to run mine straight across like that. Okay, so now we're going to Sharpie and we're going to go over all the lines just like we have in the past. Again, I'm not going to do the whole thing on video, but we're going to cover all of our pencil lines that we made. And the sections that I want you to color in black are this band right here. So I want that whole thing to be black. And this part right here, not the hat itself, but the inside part right there, we're gonna make that black. And that part there, black. See the face on our jack-o'-lantern, or jack-o'-lantern basket, I should say. Okay, so we're going to color that face in black. Oops. Our ghost needs black eyes and a black nose. So let's color those in. Now, I'm just doing it real sloppy, guys. Just because I'm just trying to show you which parts need to be colored. I'm not going to color it in all the way right this second, but I'll go back and color it, okay? Our whole candelabra thing is going to be colored in, except do not color in yet this top part right here, okay? You can do the lines, but don't color that in yet because I want it to be a fun color, okay? I'm going to do this thing here. So this whole part, this and this and this and this, is all going to be black, but not that part yet. Okay. Then our whole spider is going to be colored in black. And this whole spider. And their legs and the webs. And of course these two spider webs here. Okay guys, so you can go ahead and pause it on this, and that way if you have any more touch-ups that you need to do, you can do that. And also go in and, you know, like I said, make sure that you do your webs, make sure that all of your lines are covered in Sharpie, and that you color in black all of these sections that I've started to color in here. Okay, so leave it on that. Go ahead and pause it and get your Sharpie done, and then we'll start our coloring, okay? Okay guys, so I colored in all the black parts. One thing that I forgot to mention to you guys was this top of the basket right here. That needs to be colored in black, and then we need to erase all of our pencil marks. So if you guys haven't erased your pencil marks yet, go ahead and pause this again and erase those pencil marks, and then come right back, okay? So we need to start coloring now. Here's my sample. I picked out orange, purple, green, and yellow as my colors. Orange, green, and purple are complementary, and yellow is just for a couple of highlights. I want us to start with the yellow first, and you guys can choose different colors. Of course, you don't have to stick with what I picked out, But no matter what you do, start with your lighter colors first, okay? I'm gonna start with my yellow and color in my star. And my little candle flame right here. Okay, those are the only two things that were yellow. If you start with the lighter colors first, then there's less of a chance of getting your markers messy so that your yellow stays a true yellow in the future. Okay, now I want to show you guys that when we're doing our markers, I want you to outline your shapes first. Okay, so like I'm going to do this little pumpkin guy. I don't want to accidentally, while I'm coloring, get the marker on my ghost or go outside of my line of my pumpkin here. So I want to outline it first to kind of protect those edges. And then I can go in and just go back and forth in the same direction and not leave any white spaces in there, okay? Like that. Okay, now I've got my purple. And again, I'm gonna outline my space here. I'm gonna do his hat. But I wanna very carefully outline it so I don't go over the edge. Oh, and also when we're using these markers for larger spaces, remember, for a smaller space like we did here, use the tip, this very point right here. So you wanna hold the marker more upright so that you can use the tip. But on these larger areas, you can also, see, you can use the side like this to get a bigger area. Okay, so now right up here by the star, it's kind of small, so I'm going to use the very tip. I'm going to hold my pen almost all the way upright, right there, so that I can get into that small little space. And then I'm going to come around, and now I can use more of the side of the marker. And same thing for over here. And if you guys need to turn your papers around or, reposition them so that you can have a better angle, don't forget that you can always do that. Okay, so now after I've outlined it, then I'm going to go back in. And do that. Now I personally am going to use my purple for this little stand here, the top of this stand. Like that. And I'm also going to use it for my ground here. I want you to outline first. And again, if you guys want to put like, I don't know, a wood floor or maybe like an oriental rug, you could do some kind of a design on the floor. You are more than welcome to do that. I'm going to keep mine simple. And outline first. Actually, when you guys are planning out your colors too, if you're not going to use the same colors as me, the reason why I chose these colors, besides the fact that they were Halloween colors, I used a lighter color up on the top because I wanted to make sure that my spider web showed through. Okay, so be careful not to use a really dark color on the top. So that's why I did the orange up there and I saved the purple for the bottom because there's not as much fine detail work in the bottom area. So that's why I chose to use the darker purple here and the orange up here. If you guys aren't going to use orange, that's fine, but try to use a lighter color for the top part, okay? So now that I've outlined my shape, I'm going to go into these tiny little spaces first. And in the same direction, I'm going to fill them in. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to use the side of the marker now. And just do straight lines all the way across. Okay, and then I can come over here and do this part. Okay, and now that I've filled all of that in, then I can continue with this great big space here. And I'll go back and get these little dots. Okay, and just keep on working like that. Go ahead and pause the TV, and I'm going to continue coloring, and I want you guys to do the same. And turn it back on when you are done with your coloring, okay? Remember not to leave any white spaces, and try to make it as neat looking as you can, okay? Here, I'll put it on my sample, and you guys pause it right here. Okay guys, so here we are, and we are almost done. This is my my colored in piece. Now, one thing that I didn't mention earlier, and you don't have to do this, but you might want to, is to draw in some shadows on our actual ghost. Okay, in my original, I'll just hold it here for a second. I basically did some contour lines. Like I did kind of just a few little lines to show the shape of, I don't know if it's fabric, but whatever it is, to just kind of show the shape a little bit. And I also put a tiny little bit in here in my candle, kind of as a shadow. So I can go over here. And again, you don't have to, but I don't know. I think it's just a little bit fun, just to get a little bit of detail. Just a couple little lines. Just to kind of show the shape. Maybe one right there. Something like that. Okay. And then in my candle, I just kind of traced where the wax was. I thought maybe there'd be a little bit of shadow in there, like where my wax is, where the wax is dripping down. Okay. And last but not least, I don't know if you guys have a white gel pen. This is a, let's see, because it's Uniball gel pen, and my daughter suggested that I try using this. This is actually the first time that I've used it. It's on this assignment. If you have something like this, this is kind of fun. If you don't, maybe pick one up. And if you're not going to pick one up, you could also do this same technique, maybe with a with an oil pastel or something of that nature. Maybe even a white crayon would work. But this thing is a white pen, and you can make little contour lines with this. And I thought it was just kind of fun just to bring some details in our darker spots. Let's see, on my candelabra, I'm just kind of almost going over where my pencil line was before. Like that. And I can also put some lines on our spider. Maybe the candle is casting a little bit of light on him. We can put a little bit on his legs. But anyway, this is kind of a fun little thing, this white gel pen. So if you guys can ever get your hands on one, they are kind of fun to have. See, kind of brings some three-dimensionality to it. We might get a visit from a kitten in just a second. Look at that. It's the great kitten. That is Hermione Ann. Okay. Kitten attack is gone. So I'm just gonna put a few more of these in here. And if you guys do decide to do this, you don't have to do every single line. As a matter of fact, on the spider webs, I only did the ones that went down towards the point that we made. I didn't do all of these other lines here. I just did the major ones. You could do a couple of these. Like that. Then I'm going to come over here and do a couple over here. And it doesn't have to be precise either. If you don't go right over top of the black, you know what? That's perfectly fine. It kind of gives it a highlight and shadow type of a look. Okay. I think, oh, you know what? Hold on. Right here. Put a little highlight right in there. Maybe a couple right there too. Make that come alive a little bit. Okay guys, so there we are. There is our finished drawing. I hope you guys had fun with this. Well, thank you for participating in our fall session this year. This is the last class for our fall session, but we will be starting a new session next week. I'll put my registration information up on the overstreethudson.com website. So if you guys want to come back for a couple more months, we'll be doing some stuff for probably just through November and December. So maybe we'll get some Christmas stuff in there and some Thanksgiving stuff. And I'd love for you to join me again, okay? So goodbye for now, and I hope to see you again soon. Okay, bye.